The exhibition is titled Conversations on Plein Air, and in it I wanted to explore how we communicate and how we make contact with each other. And this was particularly highlighted because I made the exhibition during the time of COVID. The rules were very strict. And then as we started to open up, we were allowed to meet one or two friends en plein air, in the open air. And so I became very aware of the time that I was able to spend outside with friends. And the notion of picnicking en plein air was very interesting because people met in little groups with picnic blankets in the park. I trained as a painter, and drawing has always been very central to my practice. And I make a lot of pencil drawings which become an archive which I use and work with. My modus operandi across all the work is collage. So from drawing, I then move to collage, where I work with a very sharp scalpel blade to cut quite intricate areas into pattern papers, which I then apply to the papier découpé. And then for the ceramics, I make transfers with silkscreen, which I then also hand cut and apply onto the ceramics, which are then fired. The female figure is pivotal in my work, and I'm really interested in the way that we can use history and depictions of women in painting and in the decorative arts, and how to use that reference in a contemporary context. And I want to maintain those references while presenting a contemporary female figure, a contemporary woman who has autonomy within the environment that she finds herself. The women in Conversations on Plein Air are trying to make contact across the plates, across the environment, to each other. And you don't know whether they're successful in making contact. And I wanted to give this sense that the women are, to a certain extent, isolated. The concept of the exhibition began with research into the Ariana Museum collections, and I decided to look at objects which were not necessarily signature pieces in the collection. And I had a fantastic time diving into the collections which were not on exhibition with the curator. And I selected a number of glass bottles which have wicker work around them. I selected vases which I used as forms for my own vases that I then made. And I also selected a number of decorative objects and some glasses. Some of the motifs have been informed by the collection. So, for example, the wicker work, both around the bottles and some of the baskets that are ceramic but made with mock wicker, I use that to create my own patterns and to apply them both as fencing, as patterns on dresses, and also as motifs across large areas. It's been an honor to work with the museum and also to work with the curators and the team here. I've really enjoyed it. It's very important, I think, to be able to, as an artist, to work with collections and to shine a different light on the way we might look at historical pieces, but also the way historical work can inform contemporary interpretation.